Vickie. Welcome to Make Life Special and another visit in Vickie's kitchen. Today I'm going to be making my chicken piccata dish, which is a type of scallopini recipe. Now don't be scared by the term scallopini. Don't think it's going to be too difficult to do, because actually these types of recipes are so simple to make and actually very, very quick to cook. We're going to start with the chicken breast, and for the chicken piccata I'm using 4 chicken breasts, and the term scallopini really means to pound very, very thin. And I have a success secret video that you might want to check out on how to scallopini either veal or chicken for a scallopini type recipe. But the basics of it is I take a Ziploc bag, cut down one side so it is open like this, put the meat in the bag, and then we want to pound it with the flat side of a meat mallet. Now on the meat mallet there are rough sides, which these are used to actually tenderize meat. We're not wanting to do that in this instance. We're only wanting to use the flat side of the mallet and pound it until the meat is about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I usually start in the very center of the meat, pounding it out. And then you can see how in the Ziploc bag it's so easy to maneuver these, and then just flip it over and pound the other side until the chicken is about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now I've already done the other 3 chicken breasts, getting ready to cook them. So for the recipe we have 2 pounds of chicken breasts, which is about 4 chicken breasts, and I'm going to heat 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of butter, and I usually use unsalted butter when I'm cooking in a recipe, so if any of my recipes say just butter, it is unsalted. And I want to heat that. While that's heating, we're going to come back over here and coat the chicken breast with flour. I have a little bit over 1/4 of a cup of flour here, and we're going to just coat them on both sides. Now I will say, after I finish this step and I put these in the skillet, I will wash my hands. Anytime you're working with raw chicken, you want to be sure that you wash your hands and that you clean your countertop, and never ever put raw chicken on your wooden cutting board, because that could contaminate it. So we're going to just coat these with flour on both sides, just very lightly, while the oil and butter is melting. Now coating the last chicken breast with the flour, and I think the butter and oil is just about ready to go over here. So we're going to transition over here, and you do want to be careful when you put these in. Now, since we've pounded these to about 1/4 of an inch thickness, they're going to cook in just a little bit over a minute on each side. And a really good make-ahead tip that I have for this recipe, if you want to pound the chicken breast out in the morning, let's say before you go to work, you can actually leave them in the Ziploc bags, put them in the refrigerator, and then all it takes at that point to cook the chicken piccata is about a minute on each side. And in the evening you would do that when you get home. And then we'll make the sauce, and the sauce takes about another 2 minutes. So this recipe, start to finish, could be made in less than 5 minutes once you get home. So you can see here, we're just going to brown these very lightly in the hot butter and oil, about a minute on each side. The chicken has cooked on one side about a minute to a minute and a half. I flipped it over, and you can see the beautiful golden brown side of it. I'm going to let this cook about another 30 seconds and remove it from the skillet, and then we're going to make the very quick chicken piccata sauce to pour over it. Check this. I think this one is ready. I'll go ahead and start removing it. You know, I think so many times we have recipes and meals in restaurants, and we just think they're just really they have to be too complicated and too fancy for us to make at home. But this is just a real good example of a recipe that is a restaurant quality dinner, and you can make it in about 5 minutes at home, and it is absolutely delicious. Now you'll see here the little bits and pieces that are remaining in the skillet. That's fine. We're going to leave those in there. And they will just add to the sauce. So at this point, I want to put just a little bit of salt and pepper on top of the chicken and let it sit while we make the sauce. Now the sauce is just very, very simple for this. We're going to use 1/4 a cup of white wine. And whenever I'm cooking, I don't use cooking wine. I'll just use a fairly inexpensive white wine. Add that to the pan and scrape it down good. If you don't want to cook with wine, you can substitute white grape juice in this recipe and it'll work just fine. So, we've added the white wine. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of capers. And capers are found in the olive section of the grocery store. And capers are actually a pickled flower bud from a shrub that's grown in the Mediterranean. And they add a salty, savory taste to the dish. So to make chicken piccata, you do need to have the capers. You can't omit those. But they are really easy to find. And then we're going to also add 1/4 a cup of lemon juice. And again, we're going to scrape the sides of the pan. We want to get all of the bits and pieces of the chicken that's remaining. And we want to boil this down until it's about 4 tablespoons or so of sauce left. The sauce has reduced down to about 4 tablespoons. And you can see when we boil it down, it thickens up and makes a very nice consistency for the sauce. Now at this point, we just pour this over the chicken. And we want to be sure we get some of the capers on each piece. Oh, this is so good. I think your family will really love this recipe. Now, to garnish this, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of fresh chopped parsley on it. And I do have a Success Secret video uploaded on how to chop fresh herbs very, very quickly. You might want to check that one out. And then lastly, we're going to garnish this with just a few lemon slices and lime slices, just to add a little bit of color and interest to the dish. There you have it, my easy chicken piccata. Enjoy.